Hello, and welcome to Roasting the World, where we offer an adversarial perspective on today's cultural issues. We do it for the intelligent culture. I'm your host, Keenan Robinson, and we have a special guest today. We have Miss.
Yes.
We have Miss Yes, and we have
Marvin L.A. Fisher.
Marvin L.A. Fisher. All right, guys. So let's just jump right into this. Today's topic to be roasted is traditions. It's holiday time, where people are celebrating Kwanzaa. We have Christmas, we have New Year's, we have Valentine's Day coming up, St. Patrick's Day, all kinds of
Can't
things.
leave out Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, Eid, Hanukkah,
Yes.
Birthdays, Halloween. We have some things that we do as families that kind of define us and give us a time that we're able to come together, and that's always great to be able to come together and say, hey, this is this is what we do as a family. This is our tradition. Whether it be, Uncle Rob used to put us all in a van, and we used to either fly or drive to California. We went to New York a couple times in different places around the country, but California every year to celebrate Kwanzaa. Now, before I got to Uncle Rob's house, I never even knew what Kwanzaa was, but it was awesome. It's like you got Ujamaa, Imani, Nia, a bunch of days where we get gifts. It doesn't have to be like a big old birthday, Christmas present or something like that, but you get small stuff.
Like every day?
Every day.
For how many days?
For like 7 days. You light candles, and we do something like
I want to come to your house for
like Coochie Chocolate, emojis, all that kind of stuff. And it was dope. And we kind of got away from that. But that tradition helped build the family's core. And I know every family should have some traditions that they do. On Christmas morning, I want to wake up with my kids. We're going to open up presents. For birthdays, I celebrate the whole month. That's my tradition.
Mine too.
So what other traditions do you got, speaking of that? You want to start, Yes?
Sure. Our traditions are, we celebrate the same holidays, but I'm from Central America, so it's like completely different. You guys are more modest.
So you say you're from Central America. So tell us about the traditions down there.
Man, okay, so we don't celebrate on the 25th. We celebrate on the 24th. So for us, Christmas Eve is Christmas for us.
Right.
And we light fireworks. Like, they're not illegal. Now, I haven't been there in a long time, but when we were kids, they weren't illegal, and we could buy tons of them. And sometimes, depending on how good the economy was that year,
right,
the Christmas day was like Christmas for us because we would go outside and we'd scavenger hunt for the fireworks that hadn't been lit, and then we did it all over again that night. Yeah, we were poor, so we didn't give no gifts. Like, I did not ever even, it didn't even dawn my mind on gifts until I was brought to the U.S. And I was like, oh, we get stuff? Cool.
I mean, you know what? That's why I do the whole month for for my birthday, because I remember having birthdays where I didn't get stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna relive my childhood, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna celebrate myself for this whole month, and I buy whatever I want. And it's not big stuff, but I might wanted that hat. So guess what? I'm getting that hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do stuff for me, because sometimes we don't take good care of ourselves as a tradition, and I think we really should.
Now, is your birthday around Christmas?
No, it's July.
Those are the people that suffer the most.
No. It's my aunt's birthday is on Christmas, so that's a whole nother thing. So we try to do a tradition of celebrating her a little bit before, and the day kind of, but it's just different. But my birthday's in July. So,
right smack in the middle.
Man, I'm celebrating from July 1st all the way to the 31st is my birthday. Whatever I want, I'm getting. You know what I mean? So, Marvin, you got anything?
No, but you got me doing that, though.
And it is contagious, man.
So my best friend Amani, he did the same thing. Like,
right.
Amani is the ish.
So once I saw them start getting themselves things for their birthday, Christmas.
Right.
Now you created a monster. 'Cause this
You gotta do
Mofo
that.
I have
one
not
day.
been disappointed.
Exactly.
in my birthday again.
Right,
Let's
as you
finish that.
shouldn't be.
Right. If I don't get what I want for my birthday, I'm not doing something right.
Right.
I'm Santa Claus.
Right. And that's
Right.
you take your power back from giving it to other people and expecting something from somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
'Cause
Now, I have a question on that.
okay.
Because we know how hard we work for our own gifts, right?
Right.
When you give kids, your family, nieces, nephews, or your own children, Christmas gifts when they're babies, what do you say? Do you say this is from Santa Claus, or do you say this is from me?
Well, okay. A little bit Santa Claus, right? Like, because I want them to still be all in there. But that's probably wrong for me to create that myth. That's a lie. But a lot of times, like, that's from your daddy. You know what I'm saying? This is from your mama. This is from us. It's because we're ultimately going to be there longer than Santa Claus.
So traditionally, I had a hang up with lying to my kids.
Right.
I didn't want to set the foundation of lying to them. That now letting their imagination wander and wonder if
Who ate the cookies?
so the tradition is, there's maybe 3-4 presents underneath the Christmas tree the night before.
Right.
But then the night of,
Right.
they come up and it's
full.
It's full.
Right.
And they're like, oh, where these presents come from?
I want
Right.
to go to their
I
houses
don't
for
know.
Christmas. Okay, I'm going to come to your house too.
But right now, I don't even have a Christmas tree up. So,
me and April just put our Christmas tree up.
so I gotta get back. But
See, you guys are nice to your children. My poor sons. I was like, nah, I work for this.
Oh, so you're not
Santa
good?
Claus don't exist. He don't work for nothing. I got you this gift.
right,
Your daddy got you
give
this
me my
gift.
things.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Like, he didn't work for nothing. I don't even know him. Never met him.
Right. He get all the credit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. How did he know this is what you wanted anyways? How did he know your size? Like, I be thinking logically. Like,
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
never
so
did.
good.
Like Santa just knows if you're naughty or not. He can see you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Of course, he knows what size
Right,
you
he
in.
know about this.
Then
Right.
He should be a spy.
He is a spy.
And creeping in the
He's
house.
stalking.
And you let him in.
Right.
Allegedly.
And you setting out cookies for him.
Oh man.
You know what? We would want to eat the cookies.
Right. So what about like New Year's where people eat like lima beans or something? Like, or for me, I like to pray, to come into the new year and just saying, hey, thank you, Lord, for me making it to this year, and hopefully it'll be a great year. You know what I mean? And
Especially after the pandemic.
even before that, but just being appreciative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Grateful.
As a tradition. Grateful as a tradition.
I've changed my traditions on New Year's.
Okay.
Over the years.
Oh, we
Okay.
want to
I mean,
hear
yeah,
this?
over the years, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
We want to hear this?
No.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Dun. What happened?
I'm gonna keep it basic. People kiss at the strike of 12.
Right. Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Go around kissing
you
people?
was trying to like do more than that?
I was coming into the new year.
Ah. Okay.
Well,
How good
for
is
a
that
new
working?
topic is how do you bring in the new year? You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Okay. So what what are you gonna do this year? Cause that's coming right on up, buddy.
Man, I don't even know what state I'm gonna be in.
Oh.
We know what state you're gonna be in.
Yeah, yes we do. Yes we do.
Right. We know what state
What
you're gonna-
location you gonna be in?
That's
we
different.
don't know.
Or what position you're gonna be in at the time. You know?
Funny.
Is there gonna be mistletoe?
Hey, what is
Right.
the topic?
The topic is traditions.
Traditions.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of traditions, what do you think about like traditional roles? Between like men and women. I think we discussed that a little bit earlier. That the
that's a tough one.
alpha male and the alpha female are leaving now, or something that you said.
They're not taking their position. We are not taking our position anymore. Now we've made. I get it where it comes from, right? Because, for example, me, I grew up dirt poor. So I wanted better for my children. So I gave my children more. But we've done that so much, or at least this is my opinion, of course.
Right.
We've done that so much that now it's expected.
Mm.
And now we are So there is no. My mother always says, she's like, watch, when you work for something, then you'll take care of it. But when you're giving something, you don't give a ish. Because you didn't work for it. So there's a difference, right?
I broke that. Well, I'll just get another one.
There's a difference, yeah.
And we do that in relationships, too.
So my relationship is a whole different topic,
So
too.
there's, I don't know if y'all have ever watched Scarface, but there's a part where, this is my favorite movie. But anyway, there's a part where he's talking to his wife. And he's saying all this stuff about how people are acting. She said, I work for everything I get, da da da. She said, somebody should have given it to you. You would be a nicer person, right? So, and then there's that. And then there's this quote that says, when they were young, they walked 5 miles in the snow to school with no shoes on. And then the next generation didn't have to walk. But then the generation after that will have to walk again because they were raised in a way to not have to go out and get it, right?
Because then their parents are not going to have it. Because they're not going to want to go out and get it because they were too comfortable.
Right.
Which is weird, right? Because there's a whole generation of 17, 18-year-olds who do not have driver license.
Wow, that's crazy.
My 17-year-old, he just turned 18.
We was running to the driver license. I was like, hey, bro, you got a car? Can I use your car to go take the driver test? Let me borrow $10. You know, I was trying to get
it. I can get a license at 15 if I'm on a motorcycle?
I can get a job at 15.
Right.
I was working at Kroger.
I forged my work permit when I was 14.
Yeah. So you can work, so you can get some money.
Yeah.
But I was a paper boy.
But a parent didn't give me a pager. I had to work to have my beeper.
Exactly.
To go put my quarter in the payphone.
Right.
Dog, my first speeding ticket was at 14.
Where was you going?
I was going to work. I worked at Taco Bell. I remember my mom took me to court, and
oh my goodness,
the judge was like, it was $167.
Dang, how fast were you going?
But
though?
listen,
she's going 125.
Getting it.
Listen, stay on my
stresses
business.
of late to work.
Stay on my business. Anywho, I was proud to pay it, and my mom was proud to be like, just don't do it again. The judge was like, don't let her have the keys no more. She needs to be older.
She drove home.
I drove home.
I knew it.
Yeah, but you got that leeway, right? Because I worked for it. Now the kids are just like, how come you ain't giving me the car?
Right.
And it's like, you're not gonna work for it. You ain't. And then you're gonna talk crazy to me.
And then they're gonna wreck that mug.
Kids are bribing their kids, but some, I ain't gonna mention no names, but they'll have a car in the driveway and like, this is your car.
Right.
Waiting on you to drive it.
And they still ain't driving it.
And they still ain't driving it.
They trip. Or they still ain't working. Or they're still not trying to do nothing with themselves. You know what I mean?
There's no motivation. I don't see no motivation.
But how do we create that tradition through our action? That way we can take some of the onus off of them because it's a reason why masses of them are that way. And it's because of how they were raised. Yeah. It's not, somebody told me the other day, this woman was in a bad marriage for a long time, so she got some toxic traits that she learned during that. She has to unlearn those things because that's what she learned during that time. So with kids, they learn from us certain stuff, certain traditions that we pass down to them, whether it be yelling, screaming, cussing, smoking, fighting, or love, companionship, togetherness, and those type of things. You pass down that generational stuff, whether it be curses or blessings, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's a bad thing and you don't need that in your life anymore, you can set yourself up with a new tradition, right?
Right.
By doing some things that are that are positive and that are helpful, and not just sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do we break those generational cycles that are not good? Because there's some stuff that's good that we want them to keep, but the things that are not serving them and us for the traditional stuff that we got from our parents or the people that raised us, how do we break those and start some new traditions? Like they say, it takes 13 days to start a habit or something like that. You know what I mean?
And then 3,600 hours to become a master or something?
I know 10,000 hours.
I ain't got none. Nothing.
Nothing?
No research.
I think it's 10,000 hours. But how do we break those generational traditions that we've started and that we pass down? Like if my dad was a single parent or my mom was a single parent, I'm probably going to be a single parent. Or do I get married and do it the traditional way? Or, what does that look like and how do you change that? Because you came from a 2-parent household, right?
Yes, I mean, like the tradition, like my great grandparents were still together, my grandparents were still together, my parents were still together.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
That was the tradition in your
So
family.
it was a tradition. So for after 17 years, my tradition of that to be broken,
Right.
kind of, I don't know, affected my identity.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, your identity.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Yeah. So that
Because
tradition.
they did it and I didn't.
So then you have to start a new tradition, right? Whether it be single man and just raising your kids as a man, because you have been married, so you didn't break the tradition. You still carried on in that same tradition. It just didn't go the way that you planned. But there's nothing to say that you can't have a second act and start a new tradition.
Take two.
I'm not saying that you're going to do that, but I'm just saying if that's what you feel like is best. And then it didn't skip a generation because you still did it. So your kids grew up seeing mom and a dad in the house, and whatever type of energy that comes, that's y'all tradition. So they're more than likely to say, this is how I grew up. I want my kids. I think it's better to have the tradition of both of us there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then I just think that that's something that you got to push, and you have to be intentional about your tradition.
Yes.
You have to be intentional about saying, everybody need to be here at 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving so we can eat as a family. We're not praying until Uncle Joe get here. You know what I mean? You don't get the big piece of chicken, or take it off of that. When you're in the house and the food gets served, and they serve your daddy first, and he gets to get the big piece of chicken, right? Because that's a tradition because of however the woman is running her house. This is how she feels like he needs to be treated. And don't yell at your mama. And you know, sometimes
Right.
the man traditionally says, yeah, she probably gonna whoop you and all that stuff, but if you get out too far out of line disrespecting her, you got to go through me, right? And that's a tradition.
Yeah.
You know, even prayer.
It's a very important one. Those
It is.
two, yeah.
It is. Even prayer. You know what? We have a tradition. We're gonna go to church. We're gonna pray. Now,
Over everything before bedtime, before
right.
meals.
yeah, and I'm not saying that you got to do everything and be, like a preacher's kid or nothing like that, but you got to have a spiritual foundation, because you got to get through stuff. And the tradition is we're overcomers. You know what I'm saying? So our tradition is we're gonna fight through this and keep moving.
Yeah,
You know what I
keep
mean?
it pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a good thing.
My friend started a tradition. Like, he started a tradition. I guess I would say it's a tradition. He calls it Family Day. Every Sunday, or as many Sundays, sometimes you go out of town or whatever, but every possible Sunday, he says, my home is open from this all afternoon after church. And then we all go to church and just invite everybody into fellowship, to just come together. And it's not like I'm not blood family, but I'm family.
Right.
And so everybody's invited, and you show love, because sometimes we don't have that love in our own families for whatever the reason. So you gotta experience or recharge elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so I think a good new tradition would be just go the extra mile. A smile to somebody is $1,000,000, can make their day, and it takes you nothing other than some facial expressions.
Right.
I think we've taken a lot out of content in our society, and it's just time to get back to simple.
Yeah.
Simple. Just be kind to each other.
Right.
That in itself.
Let
goes
that
a
be
long
the
way.
tradition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you know, on Roast of the World, we have what's called Roasted or Toasted. And roasted is where you throw it in the fire, and we don't need to talk about that no more. Or we toast it, and it's something that we need to still discuss in our communities and grow. And I am going to start with Miss Yes and give you Roasted or Toasted time to tell the audience, some things and how you feel about the topic.
I'm 50-50 with this one, y'all.
Okay.
Because it's Christmas. You can only talk so much about Christmas and holidays. However, making new traditions is very important,
Right.
especially like we were talking about in the society that we are in right now. So I don't know. I'm 50-50. Well, no, you know what? Toast it. I think we should come up with new traditions.
I think we should too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, L.A. Fisher.
Traditions of positive affirmations. Toast to that for sure.
Absolutely.
Tradition is another byproduct of a routine in a sense.
Right.
And if I think about my grandmother, she's 93 years old, and she has a very simple life at this point. She has the TV shows that she watch. She walks around in her house. She will go to church. She might go shopping, and she'll go get her hair done. But that's it. She don't really do much. She'll go to the grandkids' plays. I mean, she'll get out the house when she's invited to do stuff.
Right.
But her daily routine is her tradition. Mm-hmm. But the Christmas tradition of everybody coming up to the house for Christmas breakfast, she has something to look forward to.
Right.
So having a tradition with your family gives you something to look forward to, regardless what you're in the moment.
That's right.
So if you're in something in the moment, then you can just really look to the future and look past that because I got this to look forward to. So traditions can create a good mental place.
And I like that
to look forward to.
And a good cushion too, because in any bad year, you wouldn't be like, we got no presents, because you guys would be chilling anyways,
Right. Right. So I also toast tradition. I think it is something that we need, and we need to create more of that are positive, and that help us grow. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on today. I think this is a really cool topic, and I hope it's been helpful for our audience. So until next time, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. And please stay tuned for another exciting episode of Roasting the World.